My name is Hannah, and this, goodness gracious, is my beauty budget. Hey y'all! Is it ever time for another reckoning? And I feel like it's like the reckoning of all reckonings. Like I can't reckon with all of this in one video. Let me just explain what's happening here. This is the whole purgatory box pretty much right now. And I've talked before in my channel about how I have imminent purgatory and then I have like a backup purgatory box. So there are so many things that I haven't decided yet whether I want to keep, that I've been storing them in a bigger box, and then I've just been fishing a group of them out from time to time, putting them in a smaller box and then using those products all at once and then reckoning with them all at once. So that's been my way of not getting overwhelmed. I just focus on a small group all at one time. And recently I've realized that I needed to make more of a distinction between the categories of things, because there's a whole group of products that I know that I want to try, but that I'm not ready to start testing yet. And before, all of those products were just living in the larger backup purgatory box, along with a whole bunch of other products that I was ready to start testing, but I just hadn't gotten around to it. Like they hadn't made it into the imminent purgatory box yet. And I don't know if I'm being very successful in distinguishing between the two things, but basically this is like a skincare product that was given to me that I don't want to try because it has alcohol in it. So it's easy to reckon with this. I'm just not going to keep it. I'm going to give it away to somebody who won't mind trying this out, but I'm not going to try it. So I can just put it in the purgatory box and then just reckon with it without trying it. So that's one category of thing. And there are some things like this that I haven't even wanted to try, that I've just given away to friends without showing on my channel. That's fine too. It's come to that. It doesn't happen a lot, but that has also happened. Then there's a product like this, which is a dry shampoo. I definitely want to try this out, but I currently have a dry shampoo that's working for me. So I don't want to start using this yet, because if I start using it, then it'll be sitting on top of my vanity and there's too much stuff on top of my vanity. So what I want to do is to store this until I'm ready to start using it, and then I'll reckon with it. So I don't want it to be in the purgatory box. I don't really want it to be in the backup purgatory box either. I want it to be in a kind of box that I've never had before, which is a backup box. And you guys know how much I disapprove of backups. I say that you should never buy backups. I never buy backups. And the reason that I have a backup of a type of product that I already am using is because of PR. And so I've realized that in order to keep things organized for me kind of emotionally and logically, I need to start keeping a backup box. I need to have a box of things that have made it through a kind of initial purgatory, meaning that I've decided that I do want to try this, but I'm not actually reckoning with it yet because I don't want to open it yet. I don't want to start it yet. So I'm going to put this product into my backup box. And I will tell you now that I have preliminarily gone through what formerly was the big pre-purgatory box, and I've taken several of those items and gone ahead and put them straight into my backups box. So there are some products like this, which I'm not opening yet, which I will open at some point in the future and then reckon with them after I've tested them. There are some products like that that have just gone straight into the backup box before coming on camera. And this is kind of an example of that kind of thing for me to show to you, just so that you're abreast of what's going on. This is going to join that party now. It's going to go and wait for its time. And then the rest of this is just stuff that I either haven't really decided about yet, or stuff that has genuinely been in purgatory, like stuff that I've been actually using and testing. Some of it I'm not going to use, and so for that reason I am ready to decide about it. But I feel like this is just all stuff that is appropriate to put through an actual on-screen reckoning. I ordinarily wouldn't try to reckon with so much at once because I don't want the video to be really long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reckon with as much as I feel like is reasonable right now, and then I might just go ahead and reckon with another bunch that is an amount that I feel like is reasonable right then, and put them in 2 separate videos, or if it ends up being 3 separate videos, then that's what it'll be. But generally, just altogether, this is one big reckoning. It's the final reckoning of the year, meaning that after I reckon with all of this stuff, there will be nothing in imminent purgatory, and there will really be nothing in purgatory at all. There will be some things in my backup box, meaning they're waiting to be tested, but I'll have at least decided about those things that I want to test them out. So I'm sort of separating the non-imminent purgatory into backups and things that I'm actually ready to test. So it's getting a bit unwieldy and a bit messy compared to how it has been, and at the same time, for me, it's getting a little bit more streamlined and a little bit organized. My goal is to end out the year, to finish 2019 with nothing in the purgatory box. I don't want there to be anything that I'm like currently testing and that I just haven't decided about yet. I might not be able to do it, but what I want is to clear out almost all of the stuff and either give it away or keep it. And then things in the backup box I will continue to use and or test as the need for them arises. I hope that that's clear, or relatively clear, or at least clear enough for you guys to enjoy watching this process. Let's go ahead and get into the meat of the video. Okay, so I'm not gonna set a timer, but I am gonna kind of keep an eye on the clock. I think I'll reckon for roughly half an hour, and then I'll end this video and I'll probably start a new video after that. So this is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores Leave-On Solution. It's a porifying toner, and it says it has a skin mattifying complex in it. My impression is that its main function is as a mattifying toner, so something that you would put on at the beginning of the day, leave on, and it would help keep your skin matte throughout the day. That's not ideal for me, and even if it didn't have so much alcohol in it, I still wouldn't want to use it. I'm just going to give it straight to someone with oily skin who might be really interested in the effects of this. Maybe I'll give it to Lauren. And as I said in the intro, this Living Proof Full Dry Volume Blast Dry Shampoo is something that I definitely want to try, but I don't really want to start trying it right now when I'm already trying another dry shampoo. So I'm going to put this in my backups box. This is really interesting. Atelier Cologne sent this to me through Octoly, and I was really excited that became available because there is a perfume in this set that is gone from here right now because I really, really love it, and it's their vanilla perfume. So Atelier Cologne makes a vanilla perfume. I think it's called Vanilla Incense. I love vanilla perfume. I especially love a vanilla perfume that has some kind of like musky, sultry, herbal undertones, and that's exactly what the Atelier Cologne vanilla is. So they sent this to me, I opened it up, and I immediately swiped that vanilla perfume out, and I've been using it ever since, and I've been smelling amazing, if I do say so myself. And I'm also kind of interested in keeping this one. So this one is called Cèdre Atlas. It's a cedar perfume. It's pretty intense. It's pretty intense and cologne-y and really spicy. And when I sprayed it onto myself the first time, Joe said he felt like it was a bit much, a bit intense, but he says that frequently about perfumes that I love. I think I'll probably hang on to this one and keep testing it out, and I'll let you guys know what I think of this in the future. I am going to officially add this to my perfume collection is what I'm saying. It's not going back into the purgatory box. I'm trying not to do that with anything. I'm going to officially adopt to this one and see how it goes between us. But these three are all more brighter citrus scents. So this is the Clementine California perfume. This is the Pomelo Paradise one, which is a grapefruit one. And then the other one, this is their famous Orange Sanguine perfume right here. So all of these are brighter, more citrusy scents. Really, really beautiful, but not to my taste. Those aren't the kinds of scents that I wear. So I'll be giving all three of these away as parts of Christmas presents. This is a really interesting case. This is called Better Not Younger Lift Me Up Hair Thickener. It's a liquid that sprays out in kind of a diffusion from this nozzle, but without being an aerosol or something. It's just a pump, but it has like a diffusing sprayer. Kind of nice. I have tried this one time. I sprayed it in my hair after I washed it, and that's what you're supposed to do with it. You're supposed to spray it in your roots after you wash it, and then it helps to thicken the appearance of hair, lift the roots, and sort of add some texture to your hair as it dries. And it's hard for me to know how well it worked because I just got my hair cut. So it was like the first time I had washed my hair since getting it cut and the first time I had used this product. And so I'm not sure if my hair reacted the way that it did, which was very well. Like it had a lot of lift the next day, a lot of body. I'm not sure if it's because of this or because of the cut or because of a combination of things. But in any case, I liked using this product the first time. I am going to keep it. If it ends up not being great, I'll get rid of it in a declutter, but I'm not going to keep it in the purgatory box. I'm trying to clear the decks. This is an interesting one. The ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. This was sent to me ever so kindly by Amanda from Makeup Just for Fun. She received the whole range in PR and she was looking to dispose of the colors that didn't suit her. So she sent me my color, Fair 1N. And I've been going back and forth on this. What I've learned is that it is genuinely a moisturizer. It's not a foundation. It's not a foundation product. It's not a sheer foundation. It's not a lightweight foundation. It's a lotion. So if I apply it like a lotion with my fingers and I rub it into the skin on my face as if I am applying an actual lotion, like a sunscreen or something, it ends up looking beautiful. I really love the effect of it. But if I try to apply it for coverage and kind of control the coverage like with a brush or by tapping it out with my fingers or something, it ends up just looking kind of patchy because it really is just a lotion with some pigment in it. I think I'm going to hang on to this for now. I might take it with me when I go home over the holidays and see if one of my cousins likes it. Like I might give her the chance to try it, and if she likes it, I might just give it to her because I have so much. If that weren't happening, I think I would probably just keep it and keep seeing how I get on with it. And then again, its final fate will be decided in a declutter sometime down the road. Amanda also sent me the concealer in the same range, and I really, really like this concealer. I really, really like it. I love the texture and the finish. They knocked it out of the park. However, this is a little bit cool for me because I have a very pale skin with a warm undertone, and this is Fair 07C, so it has a slightly cool undertone. I can still make it work, and I've been loving using it. But once again, I think I might just take it to my cousins and just see if one of them wants it, or maybe my sister. One of my cousins has a much cooler undertone than I do, and she has very, very fair skin. And this just might suit her better. And I have plenty of concealers, even though I have been reaching for this one intermittently. Those ones are sitting there waiting to be used up. And if I wanted this concealer back after I gave it away to my cousin, I could just buy it, and I could just buy it in a color that's my exact proper match. So again, I'm going to say that I'm keeping this for now, but I might be giving it away over the holidays just casually. This is a hair texturizer by Fave4, and I have tried this a couple of times and I really, really, really like it. So I definitely want to keep it, but I have so many texturizers on my vanity right now. I have too many. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in my backup box. So when I run out of texturizers, I'll fish it out. And I might even be going to put some of the texturizers that are on my vanity that are like mid-use right now in the backup box as well, because I'd like to clear some space there. I'll try to film the process of doing that. It's going to be sometime in the next couple days. This is the Good Molecules Silicone-Free Priming Moisturizer, and they sent this to me recently. And I talked about it in a Feelings About New Releases video because it had just been released and it was being publicized. And I said in that video that I really like it. It's a beautifully formulated product, but it doesn't really fit into my routine. I feel like I don't want to prime before sunscreen, and to me, moisturizer comes before sunscreen. So a priming moisturizer just doesn't make sense. The order of my morning routine is moisturizing, then sunscreen, then priming. I prime on top of sunscreen, but I don't want to apply a moisturizer on top of sunscreen. So even though I have been reaching for it from time to time to kind of prime my skin, maybe if I'm just doing a look at home and not going outside, I am not making enough use of it and I'm not attached to it enough to keep it. So I'm going to give it away to someone for whom this kind of product makes more sense. Speaking of primers, I got the chance to try this Yensa Tone Up Primer Essential Glow. And to my surprise, I really like it. And the reason it surprised me is that it's got a little bit of pigment. And usually, if any kind of priming product is this kind of like grayish putty color, it darkens my face and it makes my face even darker than my neck, which is not what I'm going for when I do my face in the morning. But this melts away to be totally sheer, and it leaves a nice kind of ineffable glow. It doesn't look super glowy close up, like you can't really see any kind of sparkle on the skin, but the face does look like it's glowing from a distance. So I like this. I have a lot of primer, and I have found just like a true all-time favorite primer. I'm literally in love. Like I am about to propose marriage to the VDL Lumi Layer Primer. I recently ran out of it and I'm thinking about buying it with my budget this month because I love that primer so, so much. The thing that's stopping me is I have so many other primers. I think I might just try to get through some of them before I acquire another primer. But I'm super loyal at this point to the VDL Lumi Layer Primer. So it actually says a lot about this product that I'm willing to keep it and keep using it and hopefully fully use it up, even though I found another primer that I love so much. This one's it's just really good. It's not the Lumi Layer primer, but it's really, really good, and to me, it's good enough to keep. So this box is in here so that I can show you that I opened it finally. It had been in the Purgatory box for a long time. It was given to me at BeautyCon, and it's the Glossier Play Sharpener. It's great. Very well designed, very elegant. I'm keeping it. Ooh, so this is an oil that was given to me at a Derma E event. It's the Radiant Glow Face Oil, and it has jojoba, argan, and sea buckthorn oils. We know how I love sea buckthorn oil. It's my skin's favorite oil. And even though oils constitute a part of my skincare collection that is really quite overgrown at this point, I do use them quickly. I use a lot of oil. I put it all down my neck, on my décolletage, on my hands, on my arms. I love an oil. And so even though this is kind of a hefty bottle, and even though I have a lot of oils at this time, I'm going to keep this one too. And this one too. This is by Max and Jane. It's a new release from them actually, and this was given to me as well. It's a golden pore non-comedogenic facial oil, and it has 200 milligrams of CBD in it. So it's got hemp seed oil, CBD isolate, safflower oil, and then it's also got a ton of sea buckthorn oil in it. That's its fourth ingredient. So this looks like solid gold to me. I haven't tried it yet. And actually maybe that means that I'll put this into the backups box, the like it's going to be in Purgatory one day box, which you might ask, like, how is that separate from the not imminent Purgatory box? It just is, okay? It's just separate to me. It's just helping me kind of clear the decks. Yeah, I'm going to consider this a backup. So here's that Clove and Hallow lipstick that I couldn't find the last time I did a reckoning. Just like the other lip product that I tried from them, it's a great formula and it's just too pale. I just picked a color that's too pale and it's a little bit pink as well, and it's just not right for me, so I'm going to give that away. Here's another Derma E product that I am going to put into the backups box. It's an overnight peel. I have tried this actually, so I'm choosing to keep it. I'm just not going to keep it on my vanity because again, I have so much skincare there, and I have other skincare that does what this does. So it's like Good Genes basically. It's basically a dupe for Good Genes, but I don't think that it leans on lactic acid. I'm not totally sure, but I think I remember that. The ingredients aren't here. They are on the box. It might have some lactic acid in it, but it's like Good Genes. It's sort of like a cream that you put on in a thick layer overnight and you sleep in it, and it does chemical exfoliation work on your skin overnight while you're sleeping, and then you wash it off in the morning. So it's like an overnight peel mask. It's a great product, incredibly effective, and I'm really excited that I'm going to have the chance to use it more once I've made it through other products that do something similar, because I just don't want to be using 5 at once. I want to use them like 1 or 2 at a time. Ooh, this is a tough one. And this is where my reluctance to keep things in the Purgatory box is really going to bite me in the butt, because I'm really trying to vow to myself that I'm not going to keep things in the Purgatory box over the holidays. I want to start fresh with the Purgatory box, which means that some things like this that I haven't fallen completely in love with, but that I'm not ready to actually give away, are going to enter my collection. They're going to, like, this is going to now be officially added to my collection. I'm going to keep it because I don't want to keep it in Purgatory, but I don't want to give it away. It's the Cultist Ash and Ember Eye Soot by Rituel de Fille. I have actually succeeded in using this several times by digging some out up to the top, and I can get at it with my finger now. It is so pretty. It's really, really pretty. It's a bit of a cool toned product for me to have like a whole big hulking thing of it. Even though it's so pretty and sooty and just like the dream of my life, I wish that I just had it in a pressed eyeshadow. But, oh, you know what I'm doing? I'm talking myself out of it. I'm going to give it away. I have so much eyeshadow, and it just takes up 6 or 7 times the space of a single eyeshadow. And I have so much single eyeshadow that I love. Yeah, it's really pretty and it's really, really special, but I need to be real with myself. I don't need this whole thing. In practice, I love using my single eyeshadows more than I love using this thing in a little pot. So I will rehome this. That is the right decision. I'm glad. This is a lip gloss that I really like. This was also given to me in a goodie bag at a party that I went to recently, and it's from PYT Beauty, so it counts as PR. The company didn't reach out to me directly, but I'm counting this as like a PR product because they were trying to get it in the hands of influencers. So it's a plumping lip gloss in the shade Horoscope. It's really pretty. It's like kind of holographic and a little bit icy. And it really works well as a plumping product, and it doesn't look too holographic or icy from a distance. It just looks really shiny and pretty. I've been wearing it a lot and I really, really like it. Okay, I have to decide about these K-beauty products. So this Rum and Velvet tint in the shade Anne Shirley, I'm gonna keep it. It's just too awesome. And I actually have worn it a couple of times since that initial reckoning with K beauty products where I couldn't really decide about it. I've worn it a couple of times and I really, really love it. It might not be my absolute favorite of all time. It might not be super distinctive, but I'm definitely going to keep it for the time being. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and keep this product for the time being too, this white milk cushion. I'm pretty sure that it wasn't breaking me out, and I have used it one time since that other reckoning. I think it's one of those products that's not going to reveal its true soul to me until I put it into the box with my complexion products and actually sort of treat it as my own and make use of it. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do with this. Here's something that I finally decided not to keep, and I think there's another one in here. So there's the CoverFX glitter drops and the CoverFX custom enhancer drops. And the glitter drops are in this nice golden shade, and the custom enhancer drops are in this nice kind of like pearly pinky shade. And they're beautiful products, and I love them, and when I use them I love them, and I used to really want them, and I think that they're great. And I just don't reach for them because they're in bottle forms like this, and they just take a little bit of work, and I just don't really actually covet them. My ownership of them doesn't really have bearing on my life. It doesn't really affect me. And so I'm going to go ahead and give these away. They're beautiful, but I have other things with which I can get a similar effect. And I just never fished these out of the purgatory box. I knew they were there and I never fished them out. This is a perfume that I haven't opened yet. I haven't opened this bottle yet, but I know I'm going to keep it because I had a little sample size of it, and so I was able to wear it several days in a row when this entered the purgatory box, and I realized I was going to have to decide if I wanted to open it or not. And so I wore the sample a bunch of times and I liked it, and so I decided to keep the full size one even though I haven't opened it yet. So it's called This Is Not a Blue Bottle. It says that it has Analdehyde Hypnotique, Orange Electrique, Geranium Metallique, and then underneath it's got amber, musk, and patchouli, and a center note is also honey. So that analdehydic smell, that like really, really harsh, almost like sneezy smell that first comes out, I've learned that perfumes that have that in their overtones but then dry down to something more musky, ambery, and patchouli, I like scents like that a lot, and this is no exception. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to my perfume collection and start using it on a daily basis. I mean, not a daily basis, but considering it as one of my perfumes on a daily basis. Let's talk about this serum. So it's a 111 Skin Cryo ATP Sports Booster. Simbri gave this to me, and it's just, I don't even know what it is. It's just a serum. It's just another serum. And I'm not that good at using serums. I tend to use like hydrating serums, and then I use nourishing oils. And I tried this a couple times and nothing about it gripped me. It's probably awesome. It's probably really expensive, but I have so much skincare. I don't really want to add this into my backups box. I don't want it to sit there languishing and waiting for its day. I'm going to give it to someone who will start using it right away and who will really, really enjoy it because it'll be special to them. Here's another lip gloss that I think is cool that I'm keeping. This is by Saint Jane, and it's very funny actually. It says it's a microdosing lip gloss, which just means that it has a little bit of CBD in it. I'm sure it's not enough CBD to actually like microdose you and like change your mood during the day, because that would just be a little bit ridiculous for like the amount of lip gloss that you apply. But I do think it's really, really beautiful. It's in the shade Alchemy, and it's sort of like a slight rosy pink, and it's a bit shimmery, and I've worn it a bunch of times. I received this also in a gift bag from a party, like a party favors bag. So again, it was PR via that party. One of you on Instagram said that this product irritated your lips, maybe because of the CBD and maybe also because of the glimmery particles that are in it. I haven't had that problem, and I've given it a pretty thorough testing. I love the way that it looks on my lips, and I love the way that it feels. So I'm gonna go ahead and hang on to this one. I'm also a total sucker for the packaging. I mean, how gorgeous is that? I live. Let's talk about this Kevyn Aucoin the sculpting powder in light that came to me through Octoly, I think, a while back. I feel like I might have already reckoned with this and decided to keep it because, oh man, it's so pretty. It's such a pretty powder. I've been wavering about this because I just don't contour. It's supposed to be the premier contour powder. It's supposed to be the best of the best. And even if I reckoned with it before, which I can't remember, I don't think I did reckon with it before. In any case, it's just been in the purgatory box. It's just been living in the purgatory box because I can't bring myself to pass it on because it's so pretty and so perfect. And it's been hard for me to stomach keeping it because it's silly to keep a contour powder when I don't ever contour. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep it. And I'm going to keep it because I know that my tastes change over time, and sometimes I want to experiment with things that I didn't want to experiment with before. And I could totally see an occasion arising in the future on which I want to contour. Like, of all the things that could happen in 2020, that's pretty high on the list. Like, I wake up one day and I just want to contour. I could totally see that happening. And I could also see myself experimenting with using this to contour like my jawline or to darken my neck. And I could just see it becoming something that is useful to me. And if I'm ever going to want to contour, I would not want anything for it more than this. Like, this is the perfect powder for it, the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder in Light. It's just perfect for me. So even though it's a little bit against what I consider to be my ethos, even though I'm surprising myself a little bit, because I don't really contour regularly, I'm going to go ahead and hang on to this guy. This is a ColourPop Super Shock shadow that was sent to me a while back as a gift. It is super pretty. It's in the color As You Wave, and it's basically like an orangey sort of NARS Orgasm kind of color. Really rich pinky peach with a really rich gold shift. It really looks like NARS Orgasm made into a Super Shock shadow. And I really like it. I've worn it a couple of times on my lids recently because it was in the purgatory box and I knew I was going to have to decide about it. It's very, very pretty, but I definitely have eyeshadows like this. I have single eyeshadows like this, and I prefer a single eyeshadow to a Super Shock. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one away. Okay, so I decided I had done enough reckoning for this video, and I actually made it through quite a lot. If you know my reckonings, then you know that I usually am only really able to reckon with like 10 or 12 things at a time in a reasonable length of time. So I feel like I was doing pretty well busting through these things, making some clear snap decisions, and it really did help me to make a distinction between things that I'm keeping to test later and things that I'm actually keeping to start using now. So these are all the things that I'm keeping to start using now. Like, these are going to go into rotation, presumably, although I might be giving away some of these ColourPop products over the holidays. These are all the things that I'm definitely going to give away, some of which I don't even want to try for myself, and some of which I've tried and found not to be top-notch for me. And these 4 products are going to go into my product testing backup box. Although it's not quite that, it's kind of a mix, because this one I have tested and found it to be lovely. I'm just not ready to use it yet. Same with this one. And then these 2, I haven't tested them yet, but I'm not ready to test them yet. So all of them are going into the backup box, but for a little bit of a variety of reasons. And that is it. That is the first phase of my final reckoning of 2019. And I feel like we're chugging along at a brisk pace. I'm feeling optimistic about getting the purgatory box cleared out, even though it might mean an influx of things into my collection going into the new year. After I do this, I'm going to do a pretty vicious final declutter of my collection. So I'm hoping that that will balance out the fact that there's going to be a flood from the purgatory box into my collection. I'm not totally sure. We will see how it all works out. But for now, thank you so much for watching this video, you guys. I hope that this was fun to watch. And I especially hope that you are remembering to take extra good care of yourself right now so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.